Hey Bikes and Blades fans, I just got some new pads for my Niner RLT-9. I got these after I did the brake bleeding on the rear brakes. I wanted to replace the front pads because they were getting close to the wear limit. And I've also always wanted to try these SwissStop pads with the EXOTherm2. It's got a little built-in heatsink assembly, so it should help with heat dissipation on the disc brake. So I'm going to put these on my bike and we'll see how they work. Alright, so at this point I'm just going to set up my work stand, which by the way it's a Feedback Sports Sprint work stand, and I love that thing. It's so great. When I bought it, it seemed maybe like kind of an extravagance, but it makes working on bikes so nice and building bikes so easy that I just really love having that thing. And yeah, so also I was going to tell you about the actual pads themselves. If you want, you know, brake pads, just generic brake pads, they're pretty easy to find, but if you want something special like SwissStop or whatever, then you got to look around a little bit, especially if you want something like the Exotherm. So I got them from BikesTiresDirect.com, and I got a great deal, great service. They ship the stuff to me really quickly. I think I paid $38 for the pads and another $48 for this giant thing of Hammer Recoverite, so I'm stocked up again on Recoverite. Alright, now that I've got the bike up on the work stand, I'm going to go ahead and switch out the front brake pads for these new SwissStop EXOTherm2 brake pads. Alright, so looking at the back of the brake caliper, you can see that there's a little retaining clip right here that is a safety feature. It keeps the bolt that retains the pads from coming out. So basically just remove that with the pliers and then set that aside, and we'll unscrew the main screw that holds the pads in place. Okay, on the caliper there is actually a little 2.5mm screw right there. Sorry, there's a 2.5mm screw right there that holds the actual pads into the caliper and keeps them from coming out. And that's what we're going to remove in order to get the pads out of there. And there's that screw. Oh, by the way, a new one of these screws is included with the new pads. Here is the new pads. You can see that you get the two pads, each of which has a little heatsink assembly on it. And they are organic compound, and they fit the SRAM HRD road calipers. And you can also see you get a new fixing bolt with these pads. So to get the existing pads out, once the screw is undone, the pads themselves just slide right out the back of the caliper. You just grab the little retaining spring, and there's the original pads. And you can see that's what the pistons look like inside the caliper. Just assembling the new spring onto the new pads. Here's what the new spring on the pads looks like, at least on one side, and we have to put the other one on there too. Just spread that little spring around the pad, goes on there and then holds it in place. Here's the new pads put together with the retaining spring on there. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to focus. There we go. So this is what the new pads look like with the retaining spring in place. And on these HRD pads, they're unidirectional as far as I can tell. So that's why there's holes on both sides of the pads that the bolt can go through either way. So to get these into the caliper, basically I'm just going to squeeze them together and drop them into the caliper. There we go. That looks pretty slick. I like that heatsink. Now I'm just going to reinstall the new retaining screw into the caliper. There we go. Oh, okay, I had the pads inserted way too far, so you saw me struggling there. I was trying to get the screw to go through the hole in the pads. I had them inserted way too far into the caliper, it seems. And there we go. Okay, so I got it lined up through the pad on the side near me, and now I can feel it threading in nicely. All right, there we go. Now I don't think there's any way to reinstall the retaining clip because of the way these new pads are shaped. This clip can't sit over the back of the pad holder, so I think that's why there's like a rubber O-ring on the new retaining screw, and I think that the intention there is that keeps that from unthreading. So I've got that tightened in there good. Not too tight, it's not a very big screw. I think that should do it. Alright, so all that remains at this point is just to put the wheel back on the bike, which is always hilarious because for some reason I struggle trying to get through axle wheels put back on because there's nothing to rest the hub on. I always feel like a klutz, and you can see it takes me a while, so I sped this up. But I put the bike back together and definitely putting the rotor back between the pads took a little more effort because the old pads were worn, the new pads are thicker. So I get it in there, and then you'll see that I worked the brake lever a little bit, trying to get the system to take up the fluid and readjust to the correct settings. But that's basically all there is to it. And once I play with the brake lever a little bit, the position of the lever felt right, and the brakes felt good. And it seems like it's going to be great, so I'm going to take it out for a test ride soon, and we'll see how it does. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you liked this and it was helpful to you, please do like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out, and also please comment. I like chatting with people who watch these videos, so let me know what you think.